future me here before I let the rest of this video play out. I misspoke a few times on what may seem like a small detail, which you'll see later on, but correcting myself here because of the substance of this video. When I say the word family, I mean genus. So you'll see why in a moment, but the word genus is important in the context of what I'm trying to express here. So with that said, I'll let the rest of the video roll, and I hope you enjoy the video. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Salamander Wilds, and I've got a different video for all of you today. I was trying to figure out which video to do first, so I have another one that's kind of related to the one that I'm doing right now. I'll probably do that one next, I guess, right after this. But I'm actually out here looking for some salamanders, of course. It's a nice rainy day. Maybe even a box turtle would be cool. But that aside, I came across an interesting Facebook post that I want to discuss. I don't often do videos like this, but I thought this was well worth it and actually important. So without rambling on too much, if you enjoy the video, please remember to leave a like, share, comment down below. Please subscribe. Your support is very much appreciated. Don't forget to check the links below in the description for the Salamander Wilds Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Let's get into this. All right, so I'm gonna have this Facebook post and photos in post editing alongside the video while I talk about this. But basically, if you see the Facebook post, it says, "Fishermen catch animals that have never been seen before." Really interesting. You see like these huge salamander-like looking creatures, right? There's a lot of red flags here, and I think what's alarming and astounding to me is the amount of engagement and shares this post has. Like, it's scary. This is the stuff that is actually kind of dangerous, and this, at least to just really put into perspective real quick, this is an AI generated photo. So I'm gonna say that right off the bat. All three of these photos are AI generated. There's nothing real about them. Axolotls don't get that big, first of all, right? So we have Chinese giant salamanders, Japanese giant salamanders, and yeah, those get huge. But you know, there's a few things to break down. So I think that's what I want to do, is break down each of these photos one by one here. Just the fact that they are depicting these animals being caught at sea, that's a pretty big red flag right there. We should know, especially if you're in the hobby, that salamanders are freshwater animals. They do not live in the ocean. So there's that. That's your first red flag we could talk about. A very simple red flag. And especially the kind of salamander they are depicting. An axolotl is, of course, a Mexican neotenic salamander, meaning it has its larval, or let's say baby features. I want to word it that way for any newcomers that don't know the technical nuances, let's say. Larval features, they retain those into sexual maturity, into adulthood, right? So they could breed with their larval features. They are in the family Ambystoma. They are mole salamanders, like the more well-known spotted salamanders. I'm saying more well-known because that's probably, well, tiger salamanders, right? Another really good comparison. They're in the same family, all three of those. I think those are like the top three that a lot of people have seen: the axolotl, tiger, and spotted, right? For comparison, they're in the same family, all freshwater, and have the same larval features, actually, and they don't get anywhere close to being that big. So there's that, right? So as if the environment wasn't enough to give it away in the size of the animal that they're depicting, the AI features here. This salamander has so many gills that it's scary. This isn't even like really cool looking. I think it's pretty creepy. Just look how many gills are on the side of the head in this first photo. And then on that right leg, there's more gills coming off of the leg. It's kind of just like, I mean, a little gross, actually. This is not normal. And anyone that knows salamanders which we'll get into the comments on this whole post too. A lot of people were even referencing, oh, it's an axolotl. No, it's really not. It's not even that, as much as they are depicting one, or trying to anyway, right? Just, there's so many things wrong about it. And I mean, if we look at the engagement on this post, there are almost 20,000 comments and almost 40,000 shares. That's scary. That's really scary. This has so much engagement, and reading through a lot of the comments, a lot of people really did not know any better. So this really goes into a few things, and I'm not quite sure the direction of this video yet, and I don't want to sound too preachy or philosophical in any way, but I don't think I can help but talk about some of these things, like with AI and what it is capable of doing. I think a lot of people, if you're on YouTube, you probably know enough about AI to know how scary some of the potentials can be, right? So I would say I think there's plenty of benefits to AI, but like anything that is done in excess, lack of moderation can be a problem. You know, we have so many technological achievements, and AI is most certainly one of them. It is incredible what it can do. But this is where it gets scary. And, you know, without going crazy here, I don't think it's hard to say we're going to get to a point where you probably can't really tell what's real and what's not. You know, this post makes it, I would hope, kind of obvious, but as you're about to see, apparently it's not obvious. So, like, if we just look at the first set of comments here, you know, they're saying, oh, look, it's an axolotl, lives in Mexico. The other one jokes, is it a Pokemon? Is it an axolotl? Question mark, right? Oh, it's cute. Set it free. I mean, it's a little scary, because I think some of that, aside from the Pokemon joke, seems to be genuine, and maybe I just can't read sarcasm online sometimes, but that seems pretty genuine to me. Let's go on to the next one. So, like, the second set of comments, another user comments, oh, look, it's an axolotl. Someone responds saying, it's so big. So, you know, obviously there's some comments here that show people are aware of this being fake as well. I also don't think this is a genuine National Geographic Facebook page. So, you know, I'm not going to throw that at National Geographic. They definitely know better than that. So I won't even touch that subject, other than to say that whoever made this, let's call it a fan page, that's my assumption because I haven't dug too deep into this page. They're obviously sharing here on this page things that are just outwardly false, and I think that is dangerous for the salamander hobby. It's dangerous really for any hobby, but I say for the salamander hobby because this is a hobby that I've said many times on my channel that it's not popular, right? And there's an overwhelming lack of information. So when you combine those, let's say, gaps, I'm getting bit by flies here. When you combine those gaps in something like this, in this hobby, or just in this realm of this type of animal, and this is what gets the most engagement, is a clickbait, shocking image of, you know, the representation of something that's just not at all what it should be. And that's what people are believing. That's really problematic. You know, I think if it wasn't for the fact that this post had so many shares and comments, you know, I probably wouldn't have made a video about this. But because it is just so interacted with here, I had to say something, because that is what my channel aims to do, is put out accurate information. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the end all be all, that I don't make mistakes. I most certainly do. I'm not perfect, but I most certainly try to put out my best. And because of that, I can't knowingly put out false information, and I have to call out something like this because of the engagement that it's getting and the knowledge, or therefore lack of, that it's going to create. So that's my concern with it, is the sort of misinformation here, I guess, in a hobby that is just already lacking. And it's a shame. You know, just to kind of wrap up here, you know, we look at that second photo of this quote-unquote axolotl underwater. I mean, that thing has more gills on its legs. Again, it's just, that's not what they are. That's not how these things live. They don't look this way. They're not that big, right? So another telling AI photo should be a giant red flag if you know what an axolotl is. And then just going back on this third photo here, I mean, I can't believe how many comments and shares it has. It's so crazy. Look at that thing, right? Like, if you look at the boat itself, where the feet are, the toes, there's more toes growing from the boat itself. People, these should all be red flags to you that there's something wrong with this image. Salamander or no salamander, that should tell you that there's something wrong here. So it's scary. You know, like, I find it cool what AI can do, what it's capable of. Again, I think it can have its benefits. I think that's all great stuff. But how you use things definitely matters. You know, this is definitely wrong to share something like this amongst people that either don't know enough about them or nothing at all. And I don't believe the solution to this, honestly, is not allowing it to be shared. I think the solution is people becoming more engaged to combat it with the correct information, like I'm attempting to do with this video, to dismantle these things with the truth, right? And just on the basic notion, you know, look at the photo, salamander, no salamander. There's toes growing out of the boat. I think that says it all right there, right? So yeah, maybe this was more of a rant video, I don't know, but I would hope the substance of this and the point of this video was taken. Those are not real images. That's not what an axolotl really looks like. It's not a true representation of the animal. And if you really don't know what a salamander is, you're on a salamander channel right here if you're new. I highly encourage you to browse the channel, watch my videos. Heck, there's plenty of other YouTubers out there as well. Some small, some a lot bigger than mine. There's truly a wealth of accurate information out there too, but this post is not among those. So with that, I'm gonna wrap up here. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like, share, comment down below, please subscribe, and until next time everyone, stay curious and journey into the salamander wilds.